Dear students, and I hope you are doing well. I'm sorry that last time when we met virtually, we encountered some challenges because load shedding. So I'm hoping that this time there won't be any challenges as I pre-record this session for you. So if you remember very well, we were doing the first actual lesson after going through the introductions. We got to know each other, and then we started looking at the digital marketing fundamentals. So we spoke about the class rules, we spoke about the structure of the lectures, we spoke about the expectations from my side and from your side. And we also spoke about the expectations from this model, especially this module, especially the assignment structure and what is it that you guys are going to be exposed to throughout the year. So I also emphasized and highlighted that this module is centered on strategy and how strategy fits in digital marketing. So you realize that digital marketing is all about the promotion of brands and their products on digital platform. So you cannot just promote a brand. You cannot just promote a product. You need to plan. You need to come up with a blueprint and ask yourself, what is it that I need to achieve? So in that planning, in that execution, a strategy is required. And we are going to discuss a lot about strategy formulation, strategy development, factors influencing strategy. You need to look at the digital environmental factors that could influence a strategy, such as the macro environment, where we look at the broader, wider environment of any digital environment, doing the pastel analysis, or you do the micro environmental analysis, where you look at the customers, you look at the suppliers, you look at the competitors, and so on. So you need to consider all these factors when coming up with a strategy, and we are going to discuss this in detail as the semester progresses. But the learning outcomes for this lesson, before we look at what digital marketing is all about, we need to understand the digital community, because without the digital community, there is no digital marketing, because the practice itself of digital marketing take place in the digital community. Okay, you also need to know the digital platforms and the digital media. There is, as I discussed on Thursday, there is always a confusion, there's always a paradox when we discuss digital platform, and even marketing professionals. Some do not understand that there is actually a difference between a platform and a media. Then, of course, you need to unpack the 5 Ds of managing digital marketing interaction. So these 5 Ds enable complete digital marketing. In order to have a digital marketing interaction, you need these 5 Ds, and we're also going to discuss them in this lesson. Of course, you need to know and explain the customer life cycle. I think with this one, you're just building on digital marketing too, on your previous year, what you discussed last year using the race model. And then, of course, you are going to look at digital disruption and how it influences the practice of digital marketing. So these are the key concepts that we are going to mention as this lecture progresses. You come across the concept of digital media. You come across the concept of digital marketing. You come across the concept of digital disruption, the concept of digital age, the concept of digital platform, the concept of digital natives, as well as return on investment. So I believe that you have come across these concepts on several occasions, not only in digital marketing, but in other related fields, such as corporate communication, such as public relations, such as journalism, even fields, disciplines that even have nothing to do with communications. So some of these to be in detail in broad as we progress with this lecture. Then these are the questions that I'd like you guys to have a deep thought, just at the back of your mind. Just ask yourself, and you need to have the answers ready. Why would companies care about the digital community? The reason why I'm asking this question is that the digital community is a social community. So is where people gather in the digital space, and socialize. So it's a community that is social in nature. So why would businesses then care about this virtual social community? You need to ask yourself that. You also need to ask yourself about the differences between digital media and digital platforms. And you also need to find out from yourself if you are part of this virtual um, social community. Does it bother you when you are offline for a while, especially considering in this world of load shedding? If you do not have access to alternative energy, all of a sudden you are on stage 6, does it bother you to be offline a while? Because whatever answer that you're going to have to this, it will actually signify your role as a member of the digital community. Then you also need to ask yourself whether you're a digital native, you're a digital immigrant, or you are a digital refugee. This matters because it segments your status, your individual status in the digital community. Because the digital community itself, it has got different levels of citizenship or of membership, but we are going to discuss this in detail. And also, you need to understand why it is so important to be in a digital community. So these are the questions that I'd like you to digest before we go through to what is going to be delved in deeper. So when you look at the digital community, it can be argued that we live in a global village. So this global village is not determined by physical boundaries or geographical boundaries, when you compare it to the communities that that we live in. If you live in Johannesburg, you are bound by the geographic nature of Johannesburg. Or if you live in Cape Town, you belong to that specific Cape Town community in terms of its geography. But the digital community is a global village, which describes the phenomenon of the entire world becoming more interconnected as a result of the propagation of media technologies throughout the world. So you can realize that you can be part of a community where someone is in Russia, someone is in the UK, someone is in America, someone in Zimbabwe, someone is in Malawi, someone in South Africa. So the connection of the digital community is not determined by the physical boundaries, by the geographical areas, okay? It is determined by internet access, having access to be in that digital community. And that access is also determined by the 5Ds that we are going to discuss, okay? So there is membership, of course, in this digital community. So there are people who are born or who live completely in that digital community. Then there are people who visit that digital community. So they are not there 24/7. They are there for a while. Okay? And then we have got people who are forced by the situation to be in that digital community. So you need to understand this. We have got 3 types of people. We have got the digital natives, So this is a term that is increasingly used in the public discourse to describe the generation of young people who grow up surrounded by digital technologies. However, this can be argued that it is not only young people, and we'll come to that, okay? So the digital natives think, learn, and understand the world around them differently from people who have not been as subjected to modern technology. So these are sort of like the citizens, the natives of the digital community. Then we have got the digital immigrants. The same way with the concept of immigration that we have come to know now. Immigrants are people who go to a specific area for a specific purpose. It might be for economic reasons. It might be for social reasons. It might be even for religious reasons. But these are people who did not abandon their places of origins. They are just in a certain area for a specific reason. After they achieve those reasons, they go back to where they come from. So mostly we are more familiar with economic immigrants. Those who come to a country, they work, and they go back. They go back home. So they do not necessarily permanently migrate. They always go back home. These are the people who always tell you that home is the best. All right. Then, of course, we've got the concept of refugees. You have heard, especially with these wars that are happening all over the world, you have heard about the Syrian refugees. You've heard about the Sudanese refugees. So these are the people who are forced by the situation. Okay. It's not like they wanted to leave, but because of the conflicts, be it wars, be it political persecution, they are forced to leave their homes to be in another foreign land. So it's not like they volunteered, they wanted to be where they are. It is because of the situation. So it realized that the concept of immigration and the concept of refugees, it also features in the digital community, whereby digital immigrants are people who have to adapt to the new language of technology. Okay, so digital immigrants are believed to be less quick to pick up new technologies than digital natives. And this results in the equivalent of speaking accent when it comes to the way in which they learn and they adopt technology. So you just go into the digital community because you want to connect with the digital natives, or you want to fit in, or there is a specific purpose of being there. Then we have got digital refugees. These are the ones who are forced to be in the digital community, maybe for professional reasons. For example, if your job requires you to be online, but personally you don't want to be online, so you'll be online for the sake of that job. So these are people whose jobs, livelihoods, and lives have been disrupted by the rapid advance of information technology, automations, and artificial intelligence. So it realized that there are some individuals who do not like being online. But at work, that's their job. For example, you can be a social media manager for a certain company. And Monday to Friday, you are forced by your position or by your job responsibilities to be on social media. And you only deal with company social media handles. You do not have a personal social media yourself, to an extent that during the weekend you are offline. But when you are back to work, you need to be back to social media. So you are a refugee. You are forced by the situation, like by the responsibility that you have in your career, to be on social media. So you find people like this. Then you find immigrants, those who just want to be on social media, for a while. You post one or two, then you go back to your offline world. So these are the three types of people that you find in the digital community. And the reason why this matter in the context of digital marketing, it is because when you are coming up with a strategy, you need to understand whether you are going to engage with digital natives, or you are going to engage with digital immigrants, or you are going to engage with digital refugees. So you need to know your target audience well, because that strategy that you're going to come up with, be it a content strategy, be it a reach strategy, be it a sales strategy, you need to know who you are engaging with, so that you understand their language, so that you understand how often they are in the digital community. For example, if your target audience is the digital refugees, you need to make sure that your campaign is active only during the week, because that's when they are at work, that's where they are online. If you target in digital refugees and you post content during the weekend, chances are that they are not going to engage with that content because they are offline. They are only going to engage with that content when they are back at work. But if it is content that is tailored at digital natives, you will know that these ones are available 24/7. So I don't know if I'm making any sense, but if I do not make any sense, I encourage students to reach out to me so that we can discuss this further. So here we're looking at the social nature of the digital community. Let's look at the business nature, or like, why does the digital community matter to businesses, as I asked in the previous slide. So the digital community in a business world, where us marketers fit in. The digital age has grown up with internet access. People, especially the digital native, depend heavily on mobile devices. People heavily consume social network services. Consider speed to be among the most important characteristics of digital products and services, and multitask across devices and between work and entertainment. We know this very well. We know this very well. And especially as a result of COVID-19, people are now shopping online. Like, there are many activities that are happening online, and people are glued to their phones and participating in the digital community. So in the context of business, the digital community is embraced as an emerging and potentially lucrative way to segment consumers for the purpose of marketing. So since we know that there are people who are living in the digital community, why can't we not communicate? Can't we not engage with them? Why can't we not segment them? Why can't we not get data from them so that we know their needs? Okay, so this helps businesses spend their marketing budget more effectively, obtain more valuable leads, and gain a higher return on investment for their business. So because of its interactive nature, remember, the digital community is social. So people interact, be it in form of images, be it in form of text, be it in form of voice note. People interact in the digital community, be it in form of emails. Okay, so because of its interactive nature, the digital age creates a participatory environment and has excellent mediums for digital marketing. So especially when you are comparing digital marketing versus traditional marketing, you would realize that digital marketing offers that participatory media. So you can actually engage with your customers. You talk to them, they talk to you back. The mediums include social media platforms, email, newsletter, mobile application, websites, and search engines. I know people, whenever we talk about digital marketing, people think digital marketing is all about social media. It is not. It includes emails, it includes newsletters, it includes apps, the one that we call mobile application, websites, and search engine. So what is digital marketing then? Digital marketing is the promotion of brands to connect with potential consumers using the internet and other forms of digital communications. So typically, digital marketing refers to marketing campaigns that appear on a computer, phone, tablet, or other device. So if it doesn't appear on devices, it's not digital marketing. Okay, and we're going to discuss that when you're looking at the 5Ds. Digital marketing is often compared to traditional marketing such as magazines, TV. You need to understand that television is traditional marketing, guys. We can discuss that in class. Billboards and direct mails. Okay. So if there are any questions so far, I'd like you to engage with me on the provided forums, be it core campus discussion forum or in our WhatsApp group. So this is how you'd compare traditional versus digital marketing. You can see on the column for traditional marketing, it's always one-way traffic. While it's with digital marketing, it's always two-way traffic. Sometimes can be one to many or many to many. So people can actually engage and interact with the audience. I'm not going to go through all of them. You have the slides. You can actually go through them on your spare time. Okay. Then you have to know that traditional marketing generally it's very expensive, extremely expensive. Last time when I checked, when advertising on TV, that 30 seconds advert on TV, it was 85,000 rands. So that's how expensive it is. While if you go to social media, you can spend way much less than that, And digital marketing has the ability to go viral, while traditional marketing, just think of a billboard that is stuck on a certain highway. How can it go viral? All right. So how has digital marketing transformed traditional marketing? These are the questions that you need to ask yourself. Is it really necessary to have digital marketing instead of just applying traditional marketing practices in the digital community? So can't we bring television? Can't we bring billboards? Can't we bring newspaper? Can't we bring all these traditional marketing practices in the digital community? Do you actually have to bring something else new? Then what happens to the offline audience? Especially in developing countries like South Africa, where some people do not have access to the internet, where some people do not have access to devices, they cannot afford smartphones, where load shedding seems to be having a real impact affecting people's participation in the digital community. So what happens to the offline audience? How has COVID-19 pandemic influenced digital marketing? What is digital communication? What are the 5 Ds of managing digital marketing interactions? So these are the questions that you need to digest as we go into the next section of the lecture. So in order for digital marketing to take place, remember, we say that digital marketing is a two-way communication. So you engage with the customers. You do not just relay information to customers. Consumers, the target audience have to relay information back to you. So in order to have this interaction, you need 5 Ds, okay? The first D, of course, it's a device. In order to interact in the digital community, you must have a device. You can't just be on WhatsApp. You need to have a device that will allow you to download WhatsApp and be able to engage on WhatsApp. You need a device that will allow you to connect to emails. You need a device that will allow you to download mobile applications. You need a device that will actually allow you to connect to the internet, because not all devices can do that, okay? So devices are crucial for the digital community itself and for digital marketing interaction. Be it a laptop, be it a desktop computer, you just need a device that is going to accommodate a digital platform, okay? Then, of course, you need a digital platform. So a device on its own, it's not enough. Having a smartphone on its own is not enough. You need to get that platform, that YouTube platform, that Facebook platform, that email platform, Outlook, Yahoo, Gmail, okay? You need a platform. Remember, there was a question that I asked at the beginning. What is the difference between digital platform and digital media? So a platform is a channel that hosts a digital media. So you need a platform. Then the third D that we have is digital media. So you need content. Digital media is content that is hosted by a digital platform, okay? You need content so that people interact with that content, so that people can engage with that content. Right now, I'm interacting with you having the content on the screen. Okay, without content, there is no digital interaction. The content can be in form of text. The content can be in form of images, video, still images, or motion images. Okay, so you need a media. Okay. Then the fourth one, you need data. And you have to be very careful with this fourth one because data comes in two ways. The first way is data that comes in form of internet access, your data bundles, okay? That's why you see even nowadays in Mjolo, when people talk about ukubeja, bare allowance, boyfriend allowance. At first, it used to come in form of money for hair, in form of money for nails, in form of money for this. But nowadays, those who are recipients of umbejo, they want data. You hear that you don't give me money for data. How am I going to interact with you since I don't have money for airtime or for data? I'll be offline. So realize that many people want to have bare allowance in form of data bundles. So that's data. Data comes in information or user information. So how are you going to interact with someone if you don't have information about profiles, accounts, So if you want to interact with me, for example, you need my digital data, my digital information. You need my account angles, okay? If it's WhatsApp, you need my phone number so that you can interact with me. So you need data about me, data in terms of information, not in terms of internet access. You need my social handle, okay? Like my information, am I at Banda? Because people in order to these are for interaction. So in order for you to interact, what is it that you need? You then look at these 5 Ds. You need a device, you need a platform, you need a medium, and you need user information as well as access. Then the last one, of course, is digital technology. Digital technology matters because platforms themselves are evolving. If platforms do not evolve, it becomes difficult for people to interact. Just look at the technologies that WhatsApp has had ever since it came into inception. At first, it was just double ticks. All of a sudden, you've got blue ticks. Now you've got voice notes that enables people who cannot type to 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 be able to express themselves in terms of voice. You have got now recently you've got channels that you can follow. You can video call. So all these are technologies that are users to interact. I've got folks who are unfortunately not literate enough, like they did not progress with school. So they struggle to type on WhatsApp. So whenever I engage with them, I could not understand why they keep sending voice notes. I then realized that the reason why they send voice notes is because they cannot type on WhatsApp. So this technology has brought inclusion to them. It has enabled them that even if you do not know how to type, you can just express yourself in terms of voice. Even if you do not know how to type, you can express a phone call. And it's not only WhatsApp. There are technologies that continue to feature in many digital platforms and in also many digital media. And also in digital devices. Think about the selfie cameras. At first, digital devices only had rare cameras at the back, to an extent that when you are taking a photo, a selfie, you need to tilt your phone. Your phone has to face the other way around for you to take a selfie. To an extent that when you are having a video call right now, if you want someone to see your face, you need to tilt your phone. But with technology, smartphones now have front cameras, you have your phone. So these digital technologies that are emerging, they are enabling the other 4Ds. They're enabling digital devices so that people can interact better. They're enabling digital platforms. They're enabling digital media. Nowadays you can have filters on mediums. You can be able, for example, as I talk, you have translations, you have subtitles emerging. So the digital media itself is also being innovated through technology. You can record, you can pause, you can share. This is part of the digital technologies that comes in features, as well as digital data. Nowadays, you can be able to have data bangles with network providers that can give you tailored data bangles, bangles only meant for emails, bangles only meant for social media, and so on. And you can also be able, to have QR codes to get someone's information. You can share your digital data, your profile account, stuff like that. So digital technology is also enabling interaction. So these are the 5Ds that make digital marketing possible. So they are there. They're explained theoretically. You've got digital devices, you've got digital platforms, you've got digital media, you've got digital data, and you've got digital technologies there. So I leave that up to you. And you need to understand that some can fade out as a result of disruption. For example, Mixit used to be a digital platform and it no longer exists. It's as a result of digital disruption that you are going to discuss in the slides to come. Then now we look at opportunities and challenges of managing this era. So why is it important to integrate communication across different digital channels? What are the customer lifecycle stages? How do you maintain customer lifecycle? And what are the customer lifecycle stages? That question is repeated. Can you please ignore it? And why is the customer lifecycle important? This matters when you look at digital marketing. So we've got the race model here, where R stands for reach, A stands for act, C stands for conversion, and E for engagement. So to realize that the first reason why we have to be in the digital community as businesses, we want to reach as many as possible in the digital community. And your strategy will determine whether you're reaching the digital natives, whether you're reaching the digital immigrants, or whether you are reaching the digital refugees. Remember, reach must result in awareness. So the formula is, if as a brand you are reaching as many people as possible, those people must be aware of you. You'd realize that sometimes people are actually not aware of you, especially if your strategy has got a mismatch. I'll give you an example. You come across a Nivea marketing campaign where they're using Choma Josie or Kamompela. They're using that person's song and they're advertising. They want to reach out to people to know about Nivea. Sometimes it can resonate in your mind that all of a sudden you are getting used to the rhythm instead of the product itself. How many times have you guys sort of saying like, para pam pam pam, I'm loving it? Already, you are now so familiar with the rhythm to an extent of forgetting that this is a McDonald's advert. So you need to make sure that whatever content that you are creating, whatever digital media, be it in the form of paid media, owned media, and media, whatever digital media that you are using to reach out to your customers, it needs to create awareness of what you are trying to achieve. Then, of course, that awareness must result in customers acting, like reacting to that media. They need to engage with it. They need to react to it. Sometimes it's very tricky that you use, let's say you're using influential marketing and you use, let's say, Casper Nyovest, or someone who has got a huge following, and you use a marketing campaign, it reaches out to 50 millions of their followers. However, you need to ask yourself, how many are actually acting on that one? Because we can view something and ignore it, you know? We can just view and leave it there. Are we responding back? So this then gives back to conversion. How many are actually buying it? You reach 50 million. How many are actually going through the payment gateway and buy that product? So you need to understand the customer life cycle, because this one is going to contribute to customer retention. So the customer life cycle is the process of potential customers becoming aware of a product, making a purchase for a brand from a brand, and ideally becoming a company's long-term customer. So this becomes a marriage. It becomes a relationship. But remember, customers are unique. There are some who are not looking for a long-term relationship. The same thing with human beings, Some always want a one-night stand. Some always want a quickie, While some would love to circle. So you need to understand. That's why on Thursday I say that I always refer to digital marketing as a relationship, as umjolo. Because the same practices the same patterns and the trends that we are seeing in umjolo, they also do happen in digital marketing. And yes, in digital marketing, there are also huge disappointments, huge heartbreaks, the same way that would get in umjolo. So you need to understand these 5 stages of reach, acquisition, conversion, retention, and as a result, you can also get loyalty. The same way we would expect loyalty in relationships. So the customer life cycle outlines the steps taken by customers as they progress through the flywheel and sales funnel. It gives marketing, sales, and customer service teams a complete picture of the customer journey and highlights areas for improvement. So now digital marketing actually combines with other departments like the sales department. So marketing practitioners can leverage the life cycle to create lead acquisition content and deliver customer experiences that delight customers at every stage. Every brand can guide the customer journey. Most customers follow a similar set of steps when it comes to choosing a brand's product and eventually becoming loyal to that brand. Rather than leaving that to chance, you just have to risk it, okay? You need to guide them in your direction. The same way we guide our partners. You can just not leave it to chance that this person is going to understand me, okay? You need to try by all means to guide them so that at the end of the day, you are likable. This is not manipulation, by the way. So this process is not about manipulating potential customer. Instead, it is intentionally giving customers the kind of content they are looking for, and thus providing value. And in doing so, brands prove that they are a reputable, transparent brand that has its visitors and customers' best interests at heart. So these are the 5 stages of customer life cycle. Guys, I just got into load shedding, and so you just need to read this through. I'm not going to explain this because I explained on that image. So this is just to unpack the image that I showed you at the beginning, this image. So this image has been unpacked. Here I'm just giving you guys theoretical concepts of the terms that we find on the image. Then now we look at disruption. What is disruption in general? When it comes to your mind, when someone says disruption, what comes to your mind? You need to understand that. You also need to ask yourself, what is digital disruption and how is digital disruption influencing digital marketing? Think about the innovations you have witnessed during the time you have used digital channels. Which ones are the main sites that have changed the way you spend your time online? And what suspect factors do these sites share in common? So generally, to just answer some of those questions, whenever we come across the word disruption, we think of chaos, we think of disturbances, we think of anarchy, we think of barbarism. We think of noise. So that's how often we think of disruption. However, in the professional world, in the business world, when we think of disruption, we think of innovation. We think of new, exciting ways of doing things. You know, for example, someone can say Lionel Messi disrupted the world of football. Someone can tell you that Cristiano Ronaldo disrupted the world of football. Someone can tell you that Erling Haaland disrupted the world of football. Someone can tell you that Kylian Mbappe disrupted the world of football. You can look at it from any fields or any things that are happening right now. You know, so disruption becomes something that is exciting, something that is new, and something that is efficient, providing new ways of doing things. Okay. So digital disruptors are innovations in digital media, data, and marketing technologies, which enable a change to a new basis for competition in a market or across markets. And disruption, guys, can result in death. Okay? Think of the death of digital platforms like Mixit. Think of the death of digital platforms like BBM, BlackBerry. If it wasn't for disruption, maybe those platforms could be alive today, but they are now dead, especially if they do not innovate themselves. Okay. So digital disruptors are also startups or existing brands that, through agility, are good examples of impacting competitors through disruption. Digital disruption in digital marketing is when a new technology, platform, or strategy comes along and challenges the status quo. There are new tools and applications promising to revolutionize how brands reach customers. However, in order to be truly classified as a digital disruptor, the new technology or platform must change the playing field and lead brands to reconsider their other digital marketing efforts. So some recent examples of digital disruption in digital marketing includes, the use of chatbots. Whenever you go to websites right now, you can come across automated virtual you've got virtual reality, you've got artificial intelligence and machine learning, and you've got voice searches. So these are some of the activities that are disrupting the playing field of digital marketing. And whenever you are coming up with digital marketing strategies, you also need to consider those. So in conclusion, we spoke about the digital age, how we have become a global village, and how we have become members of the digital community, And before I conclude, I also need to tell you guys about digital native. I also mentioned that since he's old, he cannot classify himself as a digital native. My employer, my boss, I regard him as a digital native. He is very old. I think he's 65 years now, if not mistaken. He was born in 1958. So maybe my mates can sort of tackle me there. Okay. So what happens is that, yes, he's 66. So he's 66 years old. So normally I would say he's a senior citizen or someone who has reached the retirement age. However, he is always up to date with technologies. If there's a latest iPhone, he would buy it, He would be active on all social media accounts, things like that. So realize that he understands the language of being on social media. He understands it even better than the young generation. He knows the trends. You would find him on social media accounts and he posts heavily there. So he is a digital native. He is not a young generation, but he's someone a digital native. So yes, old people can also. So what I'm trying to say is that membership in the digital community is not determined by age. You also have young generation, people who are born in these things, who actually choose to be digital refugees. Okay, it can be due to circumstances. Someone who was born poor, someone who was born in the digital age, but they are poor, they cannot afford the internet. Think of people who are in remote areas but who are born in this generation. They end up being digital refugees, but they are forced by the situation not to be in the digital community. So on this one, personally, I can argue that the membership of digital community is not determined by age. Okay. So that's it, guys. Any questions and any comments? We are going to discuss that. If you listen to this pre-recorded video, then you are going to let me know what are your thoughts, any additions or any criticisms. Then we are going to be in the next lesson where we are going to look at digital marketing channels, CRM, customer relation management, paid and owned media. These are 3 types of digital media that we're going to be looking at. You are going to look at the key features of digital marketing and the application of digital marketing. Okay, thank you. And I hope you enjoyed this session. I hope it was very clear. I tried by all means to be elaborative because it is my desire, it is my passion to have you understand what digital marketing is all about.